Hey, what's going on, guys? It is a beautiful, beautiful May afternoon and long day at work, kids sporting events, and now I'm in the woods. It's not real woods. It looks like I'm in the real woods. They're kind of real woods. Some would say they're real woods. They're more or less, I'm in, I don't know, an industrial area that's got some little nature trails, but there's lots of birds. The sun is shining. It's not warm, but it's a beautiful place to come, and it's really close to my house, so I feel like I'm in nature. So, because I am in nature, right? It's just not deep out in the, hey, let's go on an adventure in the woods. So we're just out getting some steps in, enjoying the weather, decompressing a little bit, which is always a good thing to do, is come out and breathe some fresh air, get the body moving. And most of my good thinking is done when I'm out moving, using my body, right? So versus sitting at home, then you start snacking, right? Eating those ding dongs and ho-hos and Twinkies. I don't know, Little Debbie snacks. No, I'm Little Debbie. Some of you guys know what that is, right? That's funny. No, I'm Little Debbie. Anyways, so I thought it'd be a fun little video. We're gonna do a pack dump. It's always kind of fun to see what people are carrying with them, and there's always random stuff in people's packs. I think it's a fun little video to see what people bring hiking with them. Now, you would think I would have staged these, right? But I have the pack on that I used this weekend when my wife and I were out cruising around Mount Rainier, doing some adventures. So this is the pack I threw in the back of the truck in case we were gonna go do some hiking or exploring and those types of things. So that being said, it is not staged. Everything that's in this pack is legitimate, what I would have had on the trail. So probably missing most of the things because I kind of whipped some stuff together and put it together for a last minute adventure, but we'll open it up, see what we got, and show you the real deal. So let me get the camera set up. This goes. So we're gonna do a pack dump, and I'm the weirdo out here sitting in the woods talking to myself. There's nature trails around, so people are walking by, I don't care. So North Face pack, I always carry an Nalgene. I like to keep it on a Carabiner. So when you bend over and stuff, if this does slide out, you have a backup plan for you, which is nice. This is the 48 ounce. Also nested in that is this GSI cup. So I like to always have an extra way to boil water. So I could start a fire and boil water in this if I was scooping it up from a stream or something like that in a, I guess, pseudo survival situation. I run out of water, I can boil it. I do have another way of boiling, but I like having this. Could I boil in this? Yeah, probably, but let's make it easy. But I like this GSI Outdoors right here because it fits the circumference of the Nalgene bottle. So I'm not taking up much space. It's aluminum, so it doesn't weigh a whole lot as well. So kind of a cool idea. And it fits right into most packs like that. And let's open up inside and see what we got. We've got extra layer. So one layer gets damp, cold, wet. The wife gets cold, whatever. I've got, what is this? A Mountain Hardwear. The Core Strata, right? A lot of you guys know the Core Strata. I think that's what you call it. Anyways, love this purple. This purple is off the hook. This one's in an extra large because they run a little bit small, but this extremely warm. Really like this this jacket. It's pretty lightweight, and with taking the wife out on adventures, staying warm is important, right? So this is the Rumpel outdoor blanket. These things are absolutely fabulous. This is the smallest one. I just came from a sporting event. I think I mentioned that with my parents were there, and my mom has the full size one. It's like a sleeping bag size almost. It's huge. It's awesome. And she's like, I love this thing. Anyways, stays really warm. I mean, it's not big enough for two, but in a pinch, you can lay this down, have a picnic, things like that, which I've definitely done, and it's awesome. So I really like that. It weighs not a whole lot. So next up is the Jetboil stove. and I have it in this stuff sack. I don't think mine even came with a stuff sack. Maybe it did, I forget, but I didn't like it. So jet boil right here. What version is this one? No idea, but I like it because when I boil water, these little flame lines light up and they know it's done. Does come with a little nesting cup right there. Inside, I've got the little lip right here that I could use to put that cup on that I just showed you and heat up water. And then it has the stove inside right there. And then normally I carry one of these fuel in here like this. I'm not sure why it wasn't in there, but now it's in there. Okay, so all good to go. This one's nice because it does have a lip right here on the lid, so I can pour, right? Steam, I can pour out that way too and catch the contents. So jet boil, thought of a lot of things, but the stuff sack that this thing had was horrible. So I used this Outdoor Research. Shout out to Outdoor Research. I've got these heated gloves that are battery powered, and that's what this bag came in, so I use that. I think I've got some coffee in here. I've got like a full-on barbecue lighter. Why is this in here? I don't know. I just have it in there. It's cool. I don't know. I like it. I like it. So there you go. That's in there. So got that for heating up water. I could, if I get in a pinch and I run out of water and need to boil water, I can use that. I almost always have some type of food with me, right? So this is 660 calories. So in a pinch, this is good for a couple people. This is the chili mac from ReadyWise Adventure Meals. So 660 calories, 33 grams of protein. So in a pinch, this does really well, and people like them. I like them. I like the Mountain House ones too. I do a lot of things in Ziploc bags. My wife always like, you have these nice bags, why do you always use Ziplocs? Well, two reasons. One, it keeps it all together. Two, I can put water in these and store water. Why do I need to store water? Guys, I'm talking worst case scenario survival situation where I need to capture some water. I could use this. But I've got some different drink powders. Here's some Black Rifle coffee. This is like their instant coffee. Here's another bag. It's like a tea bag from Black Rifle Coffee. Let's see here. What else we got? So some Drip Drop. Looks like electrolytes. I've got some hot chocolate in here. I've got a Celsius, you know, the energy drink Celsius. Here's a little pack. I really like these Trace Minerals right here. So this is their vitamin C packet with all these essential vitamins and minerals and stuff. So I'm not sponsored by any of these people, but if you want to sponsor me, cool. But this is stuff that I have and I use and I drink and I eat and whatever. So anyways, Ziploc bag, I'm a fan. Just throw it in your pack. Good to go. Let's see what else. I'll almost always have a second way, or I guess a third way to drink water. So when I'm out with my wife or out with one of my buddies, in my mind, like 2 is 1, 1 is none, right? You guys have heard that? 2 is 1, 1 is none. So this is a Sea to Summit cup. You can put hot water in here and then seal it up. Now it does have like a little O-ring around the top of the lid. I wouldn't recommend like putting this on and expecting this to hold water and like, you know, but from sloshing around when you're at camp or you're just sitting there, you want to keep it warm, you could split that meal up and put some of the meal in here to eat out of or whatever. But I really like these. I actually, at one point in time, I had bigger ones that I used for my dog. So giving my dog water and stuff like that. But it literally is not much going on here, really small. But Sea to Summit, I like it. Works pretty well. This Lucci blow up solar powered lantern. Let's blow this thing up. So it blows up like a beach ball. Let's see if we can do it. One try, I like it. Okay, and I've had this, I've probably done videos on it, showed it in videos, and low, medium, and then strobe. As far as, is it super bright? Not really, but if it's pitch black out and having this up here, it has a pretty good, 10, 12 foot throw around camp. Ideally, it's great for tents because it weighs nothing. It's solar powered, so I'll put it in the dash of my car or my truck and let it charge on the way to wherever I'm going. Throw it in your pack. I have this little cordage right here that I just use it and can hang it from whatever. So anyway, it's kind of a cool thing. I really like it. I've had this for at least 10 years or longer. MSR, I don't really go anywhere without the ability to get water because water is life, as you know. So this is the MSR. I believe it's the Aqua Works. And what's cool about this is that it fits right onto a Nalgene bottle. Okay, so what I do is unscrew this, okay, and this fits right on top of any large mouth water bottle. Fits right on there, okay? So imagine I screw it on. Take this lid off, screw this on, right? And then I take this hose, I'm gonna cover it up, get all the dirt out of it because I'm not filtering water right now, I'm showing you. And I have this hose right here, okay? And I take this hose and I throw it into the lake. I throw it into a stream. Now you ideally want to do it when you filter water through running water. So you want to do it not in like a lake if you can help it. So moving water is going to be better. It's filtered better. So I connect this to the filter here at the top. It just goes right in there. Just like that. And then I set this into the stream. So it has filtration on the end, has this to kind of keep sand and grit and sticks from getting up in there. And then it has this extra foam that floats. So I can kind of, if I'm trying to go low with it, I'm trying to stay on the surface depending on the funkiness of the water. But then I just put this in the water, sit off to the side, and pump it right into my Nalgene bottle, right? Pump, 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 and it starts flowing. And so if you clean this filter, right? I'm not gonna go into that and taking it apart and cleaning it. And then you do it, every 3 to 5 times, I wanna say, then it flows really nicely. If you're there and you're pumping and it's just barely dribbling into the Nalgene, then it's time to clean the filter. Anyhow, so very cool. I'm really happy with this. I've had this filter for, man, I'm being generous, 15 years or more. And MSR, another Seattle-based company. I'm not sure if this is actually made in Seattle. I doubt it, but it is really, really good. I'm not sponsored by MSR. I probably should be. Their stuff's pretty cool. Anyways, that's the MSR filter, water filter. Be smart, guys. Have a filter, have a way of filtering things. Another thing I almost always have in my pack is some pants, right? Some waterproof pants. Hey Rob, this one's for you, bud. Remember that when we went out in the snow and you didn't have the right pants on? I had these as backup. So these are Mountain Hardwear, right? Some real basic waterproof pants, right? I've got the Mountain Hardwear jacket on, got the black pants here. It's got a pretty decent sized zip right here. Fairly waterproof, fairly breathable, but in a pinch, when you want to stay warm, remember waterproof pants and jackets and stuff, yeah, they'll keep the rain out, but they also hold in heat. That's why most of these jackets have like pit zips, right, to let the heat out. So having an extra pair of these. Anyways, so Rob and I were on this snowy adventure. He needed some pants. I'm like, yeah, I got pants. Here you go, bro. And he was thankful for that, kept us alive. Let's see what we got here. A little Diddy bag. These are by Mystery Ranch. You guys know the backpack company Mystery Ranch. They make like fire packs and military packs. I've got a Mystery Ranch one or two backpacks. I like them. I'll do some reviews here soon. This is fun. This is just kind of more of a novelty thing. This is the K-Bar fishing reel. And it's kind of like, those old Rambo knives where you unscrewed the end of the Rambo looking knife and it had fishing hooks and fire starting things. This is kind of the same. I've got line wrapped around here. I unscrew it. I've got some fishing hooks, I've got a bobber, just some basic fishing gear. I really like fishing, so the idea is I end up at a stream, I see some fishies jumping, and I can take this thing and kind of cast it out and then wind it all up and stuff and reel in the fish. That's the plan anyway, so kind of a cool thing. I've got some instant fire starters. These are made by Go Fire, and you just literally light the plastic and everything, right? So sorry I'm lighting the plastic, but you just light it and it just goes and burns for a couple minutes, right? Kind of helps with whatnot. Let's see, I've got an old credit card here with duct tape, right? So you need to fix your jacket, right? You get a tear, duct tape, boom, right on top. Does it look pretty? No, but it's fixed. So you got that. So I just take any kind of credit card, right, or a library card or whatever you got, and then I just unroll and roll up duct tape on it. And I've got, I don't know, 20 feet, 30 feet of duct tape right here. So in a pinch, I could fix gear, fix things, and you're good to go. Here's a nice pink Bic lighter, okay, and also yellow duct tape. Doesn't matter about the color, right? It's just what I had. And but having duct tape is flammable also, if you didn't know that. So having it on your lighter, I could rip off some chunks and wrap it around a stick and use that kind of like as a little match to light some things. Also have some antiperspirant wipes right here, so freshen up, right? You got to be freshy fresh on the trail, right? So fresh and so clean. Okay, so could fit quite a few things in here. And then the big Diddy bag, again, I didn't stage this. This is just literally the stuff I put in to go out on an adventure. So we'll see. Hopefully there's nothing crazy in here. More Ziploc bags. I've got the most basic first aid. I've got some antiseptic wipes, gloves. I've got an aspirin and some gauze pads in a double Ziploc inside a Ziploc for protection. You know, that should be fine. More cordage. I'm a big fan of cordage. You could look up paracord or 550 cord and see all the fun things you can do with that. A pair of gloves. I always like to have gloves when I'm hiking, especially if it's slippery, rocky type conditions, or I'm always constantly moving branches out of the way. Having a nice pair of gloves, not even a nice pair, having a cheap pair of gloves, just a basic pair of any kind of work gloves. You can get those mechanics gloves, things like that. I just happen to live near Outdoor Research in Seattle, right? Another Seattle-based company. I'm not sponsored yet, but I really like the Outdoor Research. These are their mountain biking gloves. I like them because it has a big, doesn't sound gross, but a big snot thumb. It's really soft right here. So I could just snot like that when you're mountain biking, wipe your face, whatever. Hopefully you wipe your face before your snot. Anyways, you get the idea. But leather palms, right? Real basic, kind of like those mechanics work gloves, basically. And they're gonna work really well for if you trip and fall, touching rocks and things like that, branches. Keep your hands protected. I don't like bleeding on the trail. I don't know about you, so having a pair of gloves is kind of a handy thing. Is this the same lighter? Another lighter? I don't know. So backup to a backup, redundancies, right? 2 is 1, 1 is none. I have been in some really precarious situations where I've needed to filter water. So not having the ability to get water, you can die. Your friends can die. So I usually go out with friends. So having a backup plan is always important. So this is the Life Straw, never been opened. You literally open this, stick it into some water, and you can suck out of it, right? Which is a really cool thing. So the Life Straw, gotta like it. Now, if you are in a jam, check this out. You're in a jam and you take this water bottle and you, first off, you take your Life Straw, suck up from the stream, right? But then you're gonna go to your next destination. You don't know how much water is in between here and there. So you take your water, you remember you already drank it all, and I take it and I soak up and get all this filled with that stream water. You can't now drink it because it's not been filtered and it's not been boiled yet. But you're not gonna stop and boil water right now because you're trying to get to your destination. So I take my funky water, take my life straw, and I stick it in my container, and now I can drink on the go, right? Like a big gulp, but it's funky water, right? You gotta use your life straw. So I could be 1 mile away, 2 miles away, still drinking like this, right? This is clean water, right? Not funky river water, okay? Anyhow, I think you get the idea. Life straw, pretty dang handy. And then I also have a charger, right? So this is one of those Anchor, I don't know, 5,000 milliamp, maybe 10,000 milliamp Anchor chargers, right? So it's got USB-C, it's got micro USB and USB-A for charging. Okay, so there's that, but then you also have to have the cables. So let's do the test and see if I actually have the cables and didn't steal one. Oh, this is kind of a cool little light. Don't know where I got it, but I got it. So it's kind of a little book light almost, but it's by USB. And since it's LED, it'll probably burn for, or run for, I don't know, 10 hours or something crazy like that. Anyways, so we've got that. You never know what devices you're gonna have with you or your friends are gonna have. So I've got USB Type-C, USB Micro, I've got iPhone Lightning right here, and I also have an iPhone little charging brick. So I can kind of have like my own little kit right here. So I highly recommend you get specific different cables that you always leave in here. Don't use your one by your bedside that you're gonna forget one time. Anyways, I think you guys get it. Now, what's cool with the iPhone, and I'm not sure about Android, so don't hate me in the comments, but with the iPhone, they have that new satellite technology where you can text message through satellite, and I love that feature. It's awesome. So just having my iPhone with me can make all the difference. Okay, so Diddy bag, and let's see. And I think that is everything in the bag. I think on top is just the rain cover, right? And then I always have a couple carabiners, right? Especially when you have like kids around and they don't want to carry things. And when you have, man, the use is endless when you have the ability with some cordage and some carabiners to have your stuff hung up. You don't know how many times I've been in the woods and I'm like, I don't have a bear bag. So I use what I have, throw it up over a tree, got my stuff, my food hanging, 50 feet up in the air or whatever. Anyways, and then let's see here, just some random stuff in here. So here's a fresh nap. Where did I get this? I don't even know, right? This is a body wipe. This is like a shower in this little pouch right here. So these are really nice when you're hiking and camping. You wake up in your tent or in your hammock and you can clean your pits and everywhere, right? And you feel really fresh afterwards. Now it's not a shower, I get that, but the idea, the mentality is you feel clean, and that's key. And then just more of these antiperspirant wipes. You'd think I'd be a smelly guy. I'm not. Why do I have all these like antiperspirant wipes? I don't know, man. They're in here. Oh, I've got a Purell hand sanitizing wipe too. And then I also have a random hiking Yuko hiking fork spoon combo, which is nice. And I think I have my favorite, I didn't talk about my absolute favorite product, which is the Ozark Trail long handled spoon, right? So the Ozark Trail, 98 cents, Walmart. It is the win of the century. I don't even know if you can get them anymore. With the tariffs, it's probably $400. So don't hate me on the comments. I'm just joking. Okay, so man, this is a lightweight pack. Anyhow, so hopefully you got a couple little nuggets on things that you can add to your system. What am I missing? You tell me, what are the most basic things that I'm missing that I need to have in this pack at all times? Now remember, I was just going on a truck adventure where we might end up going hiking or shooting some videos, going out and seeing the lake and the stream and the mountain, that kind of stuff. So I thought, well, I'm gonna grab kind of my hiking stuff because I'm not sure what kind of adventure we're gonna run into. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We appreciate you guys. The subscriptions, the likes are going up. You guys are awesome. The YouTube community is the best. Thank you so much for all the support, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you guys.